And then that guy actually liked that girl's best friend.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to MYC Uncensored. This is part 2 of the Year 7 tea. If you missed the first part, be sure to listen to it and then enjoy the rest in this episode. Enjoy.
That was a really big struggle.
Yes.
That's a really big struggle. That's like really major.
That's actually really sad.
So like once it was like a week after she like texted him, he went up to her best friend, like they were together, and he went up to her best friend and he was like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" He said that to her.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm good. Like cuz she wanted to show like she was like cuz she wanted him to like her, like not him. And then she was like, "Oh, okay, like do you know I missed out on the work? Could you tell me the work?" Like he said the same thing she said. And then she was like, and she like obviously like told him because she like actually knew. And she was like, "Oh, we have like science work or something."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, I'll see you later." And then that girl got really mad at her, like her best friend, obviously, because like, and I felt, and I know it's not her, it's not both of their fault. Like she didn't know he liked. She was just like, she didn't like ask him like, "Oh, I'll pay you $10 if you say that to me." And she just like didn't really care. But then that girl really liked him, and like seeing her with her best friend, like it just made her upset. And and then they stopped being friends for like a while. It was like a term or more. Like they both had to like ignore each other. And that guy was more like, and even though, which I really found sweet, was even though that guy, the girls were not friends, she still, when he asked her out, she said like, "No, like, sorry, no." She, like, even though, because he's not an ugly type of guy, all the girls like was like for him. But like, and she like agreed like, "Oh, he's not like an ugly guy. He's like, he's not bad," but like she was like, "No, like sorry, I can't like you," which was really sweet what I found from her, because she knew her best friend likes her, and there's no way like she could stop because she really liked him. And like I loved how sweet that was for her to like say that. And after a while, that girl, like obviously she missed her best friend no matter what she thought she did. And then they were like, "Oh, I'm like sorry I did this, I just felt upset that he didn't like me." And she was like, "No, that's okay." And then she was just like, "It's okay, just like give up on him. I'm like, I know it's hard, but like it's just a guy, you know." And then they became friends again, which was really sweet, because
that's good.
You know,
because at least they didn't let that guy really like
ruin their friendship. Like I know she would have hated her for life if they started dating. Like she would have actually like not liked her at all.
Man,
It would have been really upsetting for both of them.
That's tough. Wow. But good on them.
Yes.
You know, at least they came back and they were friends.
Yes, that's
but
really...
man, that type of drama is crazy.
Yeah, and that man was still oblivious. Like, he didn't get the hint.
Oh my God. That's the thing with so many of, like, guys, It's like, you could, like, have a piece of paper saying, "I like you, I really like you."
And then they'll be like, "Oh, as a friend?"
Yeah, like, what does that mean? Like, you like me? Cool. I like you.
Like, cool, like, I like you too. And they'll be like, "Wait, really?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, you're a really cool friend." Like, no.
Like, excuse me.
Like, no. And just like, and that guy got like, and he obviously, like, from that day when she rejected him, he like had that, like, he was really rude to her after that day. Obviously, I hate those type of guys.
Those are the worst.
I remember when she like dropped her book on the floor, and he was like, "Imagine dropping your book on the floor." And I was like, like, "No, bro, shush." Like, no one was talking to you. And then, because, like, ever since that day, like, I'm sorry that she didn't like you, but, like, she was doing what she wanted for her friend.
That's literally so... Oh, jeez.
Exactly. Like, she was doing what she wanted for her friend, whether you liked it or not. But, like...
Oh, my gosh, no.
Yes.
I feel like we can do a whole episode on guy drama and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I have
fun.
so much at my school. I think a lot of high schools have a lot of guy drama.
We should start a series.
Yes.
That's it. So...
Yes.
Oh, gee. Okay. Oh, jeez. But anyways, no, thank you for sharing. That was
all good.
We love the little tea over here. I guess to like wrap it up, like what's the main thing you've learned like starting year 7, and then what's your advice to those starting year 7?
The main thing I learned for year 7 is you have to be strong in hard times, because in year 6 I was honestly the most carefree. I was just like a nice, sweet girl, and then now I've honestly, that like that has changed completely.
Mhm.
I'm not really carefree. I'm very like determined in that way. I'm just like that. I'm not really nice anymore, as in I'm really sweet to people who are my friends, but like usually I was like sweet to whoever was like even rude to me too. Like if someone was
Yeah.
rude to me, I'd be like, I'd still be nice to them. Like even though you'd hate someone, you'd still be like, talk nicely to them,
Yeah,
obviously. But like now I'm just like flat out, if I like you, I like you. If I don't like you, like
Yeah.
go away. Like I don't, because honestly there's so many experiences with friendship issues.
Mhm.
Like I have a story as well with me and my friend. Well, we aren't friends anymore. So me and my friend, we were in the same tech class. I did engineering, which was the start. That was my like first tech class, and we were together. We weren't really friends at the start. We didn't know each other. And I was like, and then obviously I wanted to make new friends. Then I met a few girls and I started talking to them. And there was that other girl, and we like met and we were like, hi, like we're in the same class, you know, you want to start like doing work together. And she sat on my table and we were like good friends. We'd like talk a lot. We basically from like 5 weeks we became best friends. And engineering, it's all about like hammering, nailing. It's like nailing timber, even though it's like engineering, but you like engineer timber. That doesn't make sense, but like, yeah, engineer timber. Yeah, and we were like really close after that, and we started like, I went to her house and she went to my house. It was like that simple thing.
Yeah.
We'd go like once or twice. We weren't in the same class, just the same engineering class, so that was a bit harder. And then that girl was family friends with one of the girls in my class, so it was like a coincidence. They were like, oh, we're family friends, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, you know, like I have two friends that are related, that I guess in that way. And then I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then that girl, one of my friends from that school, she was actually like, she was dating a guy. They've dated for like 7 months. And then that girl, she like knew that, like that girl told my friend from engineering that they were dating, like firstly, like she was the first one to know because they were family friends, they were close. And then that girl told me, and I don't think she should have told me, like I wasn't like supposed to know. And she was like, don't tell anyone, blah blah blah. And I was like, obviously, like, oh, like why'd you tell me, like I don't think you should have told me. And she was like, oh, I just wanted you to know. And like I was like in that thought process of, should I tell my friend that she told me, or should I keep it a secret? Because either way, it doesn't really advantage me. I just like know more. Like, it doesn't, like, it's not like I'm getting like some sort of trophy or like prize
what
or
am I
something.
getting from this
Like if I
information?
got this information, I was like, oh cool, like it's like a bunch of new like gossip and drama. But like nothing was really affecting me. And then I was like, oh, I know the girl in my class, I'm in her class. The other girl, she's really sweet, but she's in my like engineering class. Like I'm like next year I'm not gonna be in her class. I might be in her class, but I'm probably not going to be in her class. So I might as well tell my friend in the class. Because if I'm in the gifted and talented class, we're in the same class for about 3 years. So I have to deal with that girl for 3 years. So I was like, oh, this girl told me. And she was like, oh, why did she tell you? Like, I kept it as a secret. And she was like, and I was like, yeah, I know, I'm really sorry that she told me. I don't think she should have told me. I just wanted to let you know I didn't ask for it. She just went up and told me. And then she was like, oh, like, okay, that's fine. And I was like, maybe just don't tell her for now, because that girl, when she gets upset, she gets very upset, you know, in that way. Like, she starts crying. She's like, oh, no one likes me, like, all that stuff. Like, she's sweet, but, like, when she, like, gets upset, she gets very upset. And we were like, and then I was like talking with that girl in engineering once, and she was like, oh, I don't think they're a good couple, that girl and him. And I was like, oh, like, what do you mean? Like, they generally liked each other a lot. Like, they were having that really sweet relationship. And she was like, she literally said, she flat out said, oh, that girl, she doesn't deserve him. Like, she flat out said that. And I was like, she's your family friend, like, how could you say that? And she was like, I know, but like, she doesn't deserve to have someone like that, looks like that. Like, he's a lot better looking. And I was like, that's just flat out rude. And I was like, I'm like, sorry to like say, but like, that's very rude. Like, you can't say that. Like, if you have that opinion, like, first of all, don't have that opinion and keep that to yourself. So like, honestly, if you saw him, he isn't that good looking. Like, I'll just let you guys know he isn't that good looking. He's probably, no one in the class thinks he's good looking besides her, because like, he's nice to her and stuff.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, wow. And then obviously I told her because I was really pissed off with what she said. And then she started crying. And she like told me, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, okay. And then that girl, like, because she noticed that her family friend was crying. Like, my friend was crying. She was like, oh, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I will fight anyone who hurts you and blah, blah. And I was literally gonna be like, girl, you literally hurt her. So, like, what are you saying that you're gonna fight someone? You might as well, like, fight yourself. And then, like, she was... And then when she left, that girl, like, started, like, hating her. Like, her family friend. Like, she hated my friend from engineering.
Yeah.
Because, like, they were family friends. And, like, she could have, like... That's by saying that, like, at least keep that opinion to yourself if you feel that way. And, like, telling me isn't gonna, like, it's not gonna do anything if you tell me. Telling me is just, like, if you feel like you have someone to talk to about all of this, you're not gonna be like that. Because I'm definitely a girl's girl than, like, a boy's girl. And, I was like... And then she was like, oh, why is my friend, like, upset? I'll call her girl A is the girl from engineering and girl B is the family friend. And girl A was like, oh, why was she upset? And I had to, like, make something up on the spot to be like, oh, she was just like, she just, like, felt really sick and she didn't know what to do. And she was like, oh, like, okay, that's cool. And then out of engineering, when, like, the open door, girl B, like, went up to me and she was like, let's walk to class together. And we were, like, discussing. And I started slowly hating girl A, obviously. And then she was like, I could see that. And then that guy, actually, that girl B's boyfriend was actually in our tech class. And that girl started being, like, really nice around him, like, that type of stuff. And I was, like, obviously, like, just no, like, that's... And I, like, saw her and I, like... And I kept on, like, texting her in class when we could have phones in our class. Like, oh, she's like, she keeps on talking to him. She keeps on, like, hanging out. I don't think this is, like, a good idea. And then, like, she told her boyfriend, like, in advance, like, this girl was trying to, like, say this to you. And then he obviously, he was not mean to her because he wasn't that type of person to be like, no, like, back off, you're annoying. He was just like, okay, and, like, that's it. He didn't, like, try to start a conversation. And... yeah, like, he was just like, okay, cool, thanks for saying that, or something. And then, like, she was like, why is he being dry with me all of a sudden? Because I remember before, he was just, like, generally normal. He was just, like, okay. Like, he was, like, that normal person. Like, he was nice to everyone. And now he was just, like, dry. And then she was like, do you think he hates me? And I was like, it doesn't matter. And I was like, I don't know. No. I was like, it doesn't matter either. Like,
yeah, that's true.
It's him. Like, if he hated me, I would not even care, not one bit in this world. And he was like, oh. And she was like, oh, I would care though, you know, because blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, girl, you don't need to care. Like, what do you, like, the only thing, like, I'd only feel sad if he stopped caring for girl B. Like, that's something that would be sad.
Sure,
but, like, if she doesn't care about you, like, you guys don't really know each other in that way. You met each other in tech.
In the same class.
It's just, like, you're in tech, you're, like, in tech, and we haven't even started. It was, like, 5 weeks in tech. And, like, we don't have tech every single day. We've had tech, like, twice a week.
So it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. And she was like, okay, whatever. And she was like, that type of girl. And then she still went up to him. And I was like, girl, I literally told you, like, it's fine. Like, I don't know why. And she asked him, like, are you mad at me? And he was like, and he actually flat out said, why do you keep annoying me? Because he was done. And then she started crying. That girl started crying. And I was like, obviously, like, I don't know what to say, but I was like, this is why I told you, like, not to go up to him. Like, he probably has, like, anger issues now. And she was like, no, but, like, what did I do to deserve this? And blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, my God, just stop talking. Like, honestly. And then those girls, and then that girl B, she was, like, and she was, like, uneasy to tell girl A things now. Like, obviously, because of that whole scenario. And still, like, the hard thing is that they're family friends, except they're really close. They'd go to, on, like, every weekend, like, I'm pretty sure they'd go family stuff. They'd go to each other's houses. I remember they had, like, they had, like, a study date once, and then, like, that, obviously, girl B wanted to, like, tell them something, but, like, she realized girl A was there, and then she was like, okay, whatever, I'll just say something. And then girl A, like, told a few people. Like, I could figure out, because in tech she told people. And then I finally told girl B, and then girl B, like, had it with her. And she was just like, she went out full at her, and she was like, why do you have to do blah, 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 blah. And she was like, no, I wasn't doing that. She was acting all, like, defensive type of girl. And then and I was like, honestly, should I say that I was the one being that, like, undercover spy or something? Or should I not? And I was thinking, you know what? My friendship with girl B is a lot more better because girl B, actually, I could trust her with things because I've had my experience with girl A. Well, like, once I think I told her something, it wasn't really that important. It was like, in one of the tests, I didn't get that good. I forgot what I got. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
And I told girl A, I think it was in engineering, like, it wasn't really a test, but, like, it was, like, a mini test. So, like, I could redo it, but, like, I didn't get good in it. And I told her, I was the only one that told her my, like, score. And then she went up and then the boys were talking about their scores. And then she was like, oh, I got this. And I was like, oh. And then I said, oh, I don't know my score because I didn't want to tell anyone. Like, I don't care. I didn't care if, like, I didn't want to tell boys.
It?
And she was like, oh, didn't you get this? She said, didn't you get this? And I was like,
That's so...
And I was like, and then, like, and I was just like, yes, because, like, I was like, yeah, I did actually, because, like, I wasn't going to be like, no, I didn't get it. Like,
and then it would sound like I just dragged it on,
And then I didn't want to sound like I cared if a boy knew. And the boys were like, oh, nice, I got lower than you. And I was like, yeah, obviously. and then she was like, oh my God, and she was like, oh my God. And then I got even lower, ha ha ha, when she did better, because, like, and she was like, and I was like, why are you flexing that you got lower? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, am I going to flex that I got 1 out of 10 or 10 out of 10? Obviously, I'd get flex that I got 1 out of 10. Well, no, wait, 10 out of 10. I'd flex if I got 10 out of 10. And, yeah, so I was just, like, upset at that fact. And then I went up to her, too. We both went up to her. And I was like, okay, you know what? You can say that I've been an undercover spy. I don't want to be friends with someone like that.
Yeah.
And, like, we both did. And she got really upset. And I texted her. Because girl B went up to her in real life, and I decided to do it on text, which is the worst thing you can do when you not be friends with someone on text, because I couldn't, like, go up to her, because when I go up to her, she's always, like, hugging me, like, I needed my personal space, and I couldn't be like, actually, I don't want to talk to you. So I just went, like, I did it on text. I, like, sent a whole voice recording and, like, a whole paragraph. And I was like, you're a good person, because she isn't a bad person. She's a nice person. She's, like, just some of her traits make her just like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously there could be someone else in this world that actually, like, likes what she's doing. Like,
that's true.
Who's, like, similar to her, so they can be good friends. Like, I guess. And I was like, oh, I think you're a good person. You're really sweet and kind. But, like, some of your things, and you're a bit rude to girl B.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and you're a bit rude to girl B. And she's like, my best friend in class. I don't think, like, we can be friends anymore. I'm like, I'm sorry, and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, why? What do you mean? We were, like, so close before. And I was like, yeah, but, like, some factors, like, what you do is, like, not something that's not my cup of tea. I don't really, like, appreciate it if you, like, do stuff like that. And she was like, no, but, like, why? Like, out of everything, like, we've said and done, like, I don't know why you could do that to me. And I was like, sorry, I'm really sorry, but, like, that's how it has to come out in the end.
Damn, that's good on you, because there's many, like, friendships where it's, like, so fake. And then I think it's really important that people realize that you don't have to be friends with everyone, and not everyone's gonna like you, and you're not gonna like everyone.
Yeah, and exactly, like, in primary school, you can, like, be, like, if people you don't like, you can still talk to, like, that. I agree, people do that. But in high school, let me not stress enough that if you don't like someone, if you find someone's fake to you, just don't be friends with them. Like, you just actually have to cut them off. Because in high school, when you start being friends with those, like, fake people, and it gets more and more, it just starts becoming toxic. And once it gets to the, like, breaking points, it's a lot harder. So, like, simply when a few things happen, or, like, when you start not to like someone, give it a few weeks and then finally, like, cut them off. Don't, like, take forever and be like, no, what if she feels bad? Like, it's fine, just don't do that.
And people are always gonna come and go. Like, there's, like, thousands of students in, like, you know, in a high school or something, so you're always gonna make new friends, whether
you're gonna find someone better. Maybe there's, like, always gonna be, like, obviously that best friend is, like, you won't replace them. Like, I've got a few friends in my class. I've got 9 girls in my class, but 7 of us, we all are such a strong friendship. We've got other 3 girls that we've got beef with, but that, if I would explain that right now, it would be very long. Because it's got, like, the head teacher involved too. It's like very, very long. And we've got 7. I've got, like, 7 other friends, I think, including me. And we are very close, and we're gonna be in the same class next year. So I'm just proud that we're very close, and we like each other. We all, like, we're all in that together, and, like, and that 7, even though we're close, it's spread off to 4 and 3. Like, usually for, like, tables and stuff, there's not much. So, like, there's 3 girls, and then I'm with, like, 4 girls, and, like, we all love each other. We all, like, respect that, but just, like, we're a bit closer with the other, like, 4 like 3 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like 4 would be better because 4 usually the teacher says groups of 2, groups of 4. So it's just closer that we have. Because for them, like, they're really good. I love them so much. But, like, 3 people is not a very good. Obviously, when there's pairs, someone's going to be left out. And I don't like when that happens. So, like, usually if we've had, like, an additional person in our friend group, it would have like summed it all up to 8 and everyone would have 4, 4, 4, 4. But like since we've got really, really annoying girls in our class, we have to always like distribute it to 7. So yeah, that's why like, and then that's our friend group and I'm really happy I'm friends with them and then next year I'm going to be with them too.
Yeah.
And they're just like very close. Like we tell each other everything. We hang out. I hanged out with one of them 2 days ago actually.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
we've just really close. We've kept close. We text a lot. Yeah.
We love that. We love that energy. So, I mean, we'll wrap things up quickly, but what's your advice to the people going into Year 7 this year?
In Year 7, I just want you to be prepared. Know that it's not going to be easy. First of all, it's a very big jump. Homework, make sure you have a very scheduled plan.
Yep.
Know when you're going to do stuff. Know when you're going to take a break. Don't think that doing it the easy way is going to help. Like, don't take shortcuts. Like, thinking that, I'm not going to do my homework, I'm going to do it later and still, like, and then think the teacher's going to forget. The teachers don't forget, honestly.
Yeah.
They will check your work. And don't think doing it, like, after what you have to do it, don't think you can pull an all-nighter. I started from 3 a.m. and I was really bad. And just make sure you do that. You don't need to have a very big friend group. In primary, I had a very big friend group. You just need a bunch of close, trustworthy people.
Yep.
That's all you need. And don't think being popular is any good. Because honestly, being popular, there's nothing good in being popular. Like, okay, you're popular. Like, a lot of people know you. That's it. Like, you can get a lot of people knowing you by doing something, like, kind and sweet.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of people will know you for being nice. But, like, you don't need to be in that popular group. Just be in your close, strong friend group, and that's it. And friendships can fall out from time to time, but like if it's with your really close people, don't think by ignoring them is going to fix the issue. Just definitely try to sort it out and like not leave it at the end. And if you don't like someone, just cut them off. You can be friends with them later, but just be like, I think I need like a little break from our friendship, and then decide if they're actually like the person you're looking for in a friendship. And That's
beautiful. So I'm sure they all appreciate that advice, and it's really good to hear that, you've learned all this stuff really early. So, no, thank you. I really enjoyed this episode. I think it's going to be really good for, anyone actually, because it's even us older people, it's very interesting to see how the generation nowadays and all the drama and stuff. Oh, jeez. No, but any last words or anything?
Stay positive, honestly.
Oh, love that. Yes. We're only positive vibes for 2024 only. Yes.
We just take away the negative vibes and stay positive. Because even though high school's tough, I still survived, like I'm still like existing.
Yeah.
I'm still like there. Like it was hard, but like at the end of the day, you still survive. You still made it. That's all that matters, Don't think you're like, oh my God, this happened. Like, it's like the end of the world. Like, don't worry. There's always like an opportunity and a path that will open up to you.
Yes, no, for sure. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining me on this podcast. It was really great having you. I look forward to the many episodes ahead. Yes, because I feel like we have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
But thank you guys for listening. As always, if you have any questions or topics or suggestions you want, there's all the links in our description, and then you can follow us on our social medias and all that. But until then, take care and we'll see you later. Bye.